My slimy ex-husband cheated on me and abused me to the point of divorce, but when his affair partner came to me, after her own son became a junkie, to belittle my own, I made her eat her assumptions and regret it. Many years ago I was married to a jerk. A jerk who cheated on me repeatedly and who was verbally abusive. The day he turned physically abusive, I filed for divorce. We had a son who was 5 when we divorced. Cut to a year after the divorce. Ex had a girlfriend. One that stuck around longer than many of the others had. I strongly suspected that she had been one of his affair partners. She was divorced from a wealthy man. She was begrudgingly polite to me, but always had to smirkingly let me know that she had money and felt that she was superior to me in every way as was her son to mine, and that she looked down on me. This woman, let's call her Janie, had a boy my son's age. Let's call him John. Janie and my ex would occasionally ask me to babysit her son. I always said yes, because, number 1, it wasn't the kid's fault that my ex was a jerk and that his mother was a slime that slept with married men. And 2, the kids got along and my son would be seeing him anyway on dad's custody days. Why punish the children because their parents were jerks? Let's call my boy Sam. John wasn't a bad kid, he was just incredibly entitled. He once told me that I was poor because I cleaned my house myself and didn't have a maid. I pointed out that he was poor too, as all of the money in his world came from his dad's alimony payments to his mom, but that he, John, had no money of his own, which made him even poorer than I was. One conversation John and I had at my house went like this: John, I want toast and jam. Me, okay. John, do you have marmalade? Me, yes. John, do you have whole wheat or whole grain bread? Me, I have whole wheat bread. John, good, then make me toast with marmalade on whole wheat bread and cut the crusts off. I hope it is good marmalade. For some reason that conversation has always stuck with me. Many years later, long after my ex and Janie had broken up and our children were grown, I ran into Janie at a local event. As an aside, many people thought that because I was this tiny, poor, struggling, single mom with no help financially from my ex or anyone else, and my having to work constantly to keep a roof over our heads, that I wasn't a good mother and that I wouldn't be able to raise a child with any kind of stability or order in his life. Add to this, my ex continued to be abusive to the point I had to get restraining orders. Pretty much everyone expected me to fail as a parent, and my child to fail in life. Janie was no exception. She was exceptionally smug in her belief that I was a terrible mother. Truth be told, I was a loving, but very strict mom who did homework with my son every single day. I made a full breakfast, lunch and dinner from scratch daily. We ate together every night. I was always home and available for my son, and always very hands-on. I even worked an extra job to hire a math tutor when it seemed my son might be struggling with math. The tutor, who had his PhD in mathematics, told me that he thought my son was a genius. I thought he was joking, he wasn't. As it turned out, Janie's boy John had gone totally off of the rails. Far, far away from his marmalade days. With no life skills, John had turned to drugs, dropped out of school, had become an addict. He had been in and out of rehab, living on the street at times, but Janie still seemed to be enabling him. After telling me all of this, she condescendingly put her hand on my arm, leaned in and said, "Sam too?" Poor Sam, he was never very bright. I know he was terrible in school. While Sam was very, very bright, it was true, he had been awful in grade school through HS. In fact, he almost failed out of HS. I was in the office having meetings with the principal almost weekly. As it turned out, Sam was just incredibly bored. I leaned away from Janie, patted her shoulder, chuckled and said, "Well, actually, Sam has 3 STEM degrees. He did his undergrad with a double major in physics and astronomy, thinking he was going to be an astrophysicist. He graduated with I think a 4.3 in both, but then changed his mind about his career path and got his advanced degree in nanophysics. He's currently working in a prestigious lab engineering semiconductors for rocketry, so I guess that makes him a rocket scientist. He has an amazing girlfriend who is a lawyer and who just made partner. They both make 6 figures and he bought a house. I'm so blessed that he turned out so well." Then I patted her arm and said, "Nice seeing you. I'm so sorry to hear about John, I hope he can get his life on track." I meant this. He was a sweet kid, okay, lie, but I couldn't be mean with his situation. A mom's petty revenge through our kids' successes and failures. Years in the making, but oh so satisfying. Commenter. I've always said it's not about the money or fancy degrees, it's all in the love and hard work we put into our kids. Take my husband for instance, he's a high school dropout, but our daughter swears by his pancakes. As a mom, though, hearing this woman's story just warms my heart.